Guys, it's now 1 o'clock in the afternoon and I think I've finally settled down from last night. So I'm going to try and give a level-headed approach to the game last night now, and not what I really feel, but what it was. Try to be unbiased. And I've watched the game now on telly myself the whole way through and made some thoughts about it and what I thought at the time, etc. One thing I would say is that, I felt the first half we were in control of that game. What I don't think people realise, and maybe they do now, if you look, we all go on about, Hincapié playing how great a defender he is. And he is. Calafiori, though, adds something to the team. He moves into midfield. You watched how we were much more forward going, much more attacking, how more fluid we were. And that is for two reasons. Calafiori and Skelly. And actually, White. People won't like that because everybody loves Timber and White's not fit. Calafiori is just starting to get fit. And you see him, he was everywhere. He's classier, he has more control, he's a better footballer going forward. Seriously, he knows what to do with the ball. He sees openings, he can pass. He regretfully for Hincapié, should be our left fullback. Problem being is he's not fit yet, and after about 55 minutes you could see he was flaking. It was the right time to bring Hincapié on because that's when we needed to be more solid. But Calafiori, people want to watch him. Regretfully, when you're not at the pitch and you can see his movement, on the TV you don't see what he's doing. Absolutely incredible movement. When he gets the ball, so much more control on the ball than Hincapié. I will say Hincapié, though, is physically stronger, better defensively. You see Skelly, come on. He gets the ball. His first movement normally is to move forward or put the ball forward. What with him in the midfield, Calafiori on the left and coming into midfield, it adds so much more to our midfield and how we can create, how we can move forward with him and Skelly there. Skelly was immense and his mentality is forward balls, whereas Odegaard used to be that, but now Odegaard just goes left and right, simple. And White, maybe not as good a defender as he was 2 years ago. He's lost a bit of pace with this injury. But his understanding with Saka and the midfield, the 1-2s, the movement forward, is incredible. It's better than Timber's. Timber overall is a better right fullback. But White, when he's fit and on song, he's a cleverer player than Timber, better going forward. Timber is physically stronger. Now he's faster, and frankly speaking, I would not know which one to play. In the final, we've got to play White because Timber won't be ready for that. So that's something that you guys need to look at. It's a shame you can't be there at the stadium and watch the movement of Calafiori, how it blends in with Skelly. Rice was immense. The whole defence was immense. I got a bit concerned, with Saliba a couple of times. I seriously did. And Rez kicking, he sometimes scares me a little bit. But, forget it. Best goalkeeper, in my opinion, in the Premier League. Pickford, I think, also, I have to say, I think Pickford is at the same level. I really do. Other than that, Arteta, one thing I complain about him a lot is when he brings on the substitutes and who he brings on as substitutes. This time he got it exactly right. He took Saka, not fit. You could see after about 50 minutes, he was flagging. And he brought him off, brought Eze off, brought Calafiori, who again, he was flagging. They're both not fully fit. And he brought the right players on, Odegaard to fill in for Eze. He brings in Hincapié to fill in because then we needed solid defending. And, he brought Madueke on for Saka, even though Madueke didn't do that great. And then he brings on Zubimendi for Skelly because Skelly, you could see, was just starting to flag a little bit. And we needed, to fill that middle up. And with Odegaard there now, Zubimendi came in. And after about 65, 70 minutes where they were starting to take control, our midfield with fresh legs, Odegaard and Zubimendi, we started to take back control again. And then, of course, Trossard had a great game. He really did. He needed to take him off because you could see he was tired as well. Martinelli came on. I think we could have used him more because his pace down the left was embarrassing them. But we were looking just to hold on to that 1-0 lead in the end. But Martinelli was great. I don't think they really caused us any problems. Was that a penalty? I've looked at it. I've listened to the referee going on and on and on about it. Referee saying, no, it wasn't. I'm trying to be unbiased here. And if that was against my team, I would be very upset. Because just like last week when I felt we should have had a penalty and everybody was saying we should have had a penalty, I think maybe that they should have had a pen. I do. I'm not going to go against my principles of lying. But then it makes up for the pen we should have had last week. As simple as that. I look at Alvarez, who we all want to come to Arsenal next season. He didn't audition well, guys. He didn't. Frankly speaking, he was playing a lot in the midfield. He was going backwards and backwards. That's not what we want. And on that showing, and on the last two showings against us, he's not up. You know, I didn't think much of him, really. Lookman, everyone goes on about Lookman. I've always said he's not good enough for the Premier League. And I think it showed yesterday. He's too lightweight. You know, lots of, quick feet, really quick feet. But he's lightweight. Doesn't do anything in the end. In the Premier League, he'll just be out-muscled. He was before when he was here before. He didn't do anything. And I think, again, we've shown that over the last two games. He's not strong enough. Simeone, up to his old antics again. I mean, the referee... Look, the excuse for not booking people, I was told, was that basically it's because didn't want anyone to miss out on the final. I get that. I do understand that. But there were one or two people that, should have got yellows, really. But as far as I'm concerned, we deserve that. We did. I don't think they really, Soloth at the end sort of had, an opportunity where he might have hit that first time. That might have gone in the back of the net, but he didn't. And it's as simple as that. It's the same for us. There are times we should shoot and we don't. But other than that, they really didn't make any chances. We controlled that game in every aspect. They put in the second half, they came out with more tempo. They pushed us back a little bit. But what did they create? Nothing. So all in all, Arsenal definitely deserved to win that game last night. And over two legs, last week, we had the first half, they had the second half. We should have had a penalty, which wasn't given this week. We controlled the first half. The second half, they had a 20-minute period. They should have got a penalty probably, which they didn't get. So even Stevens there, I felt we really controlled. We really controlled last night, and we deserved it. It's simple. That's my thoughts on the game. That's my analysis. Football Chat Uncensored. I'm trying to be level-headed here, guys. Reno talking.